For the people that spend a lifetime around the sport, when they watch somebody ride, they're watching their state of mind. It goes beyond admiring that move or whatever thing that they're proving to the outside world, being a competition or first place or fifth place. Right now, the sport, its purest form. People are doing it because they love it. And their only drive is the push against themselves and the vision that they have for the sport.
Hotels with you for number 2 on the island.
That is what's really going to bring the sport forward.
Also, my first experience, I got punished, on the rocks, on the bunker, walked back up and tried again until you finally made it,
We got to Pousada, we got there with Lalo. My brother was 93 or 94. We got there and really we stayed in the car. We got there and the conditions weren't happening. I think we were at the wrong place. This can be it,
Pousada is a bit shocking when you first get there. For the conditions as well, I don't remember, but I think it was like flat for a couple of days, and I was like, "Are we wave riding here or what?" It's like there's no waves breaking.
I mean, as soon as the conditions clicked in, you understood what it was about.
If you got balls, you can just sheet in and keep on flying, On a really strong firing day, it's just a really scary place.
Soaking alone on his knees in a house, he escaped to the countryside after committing a crime. Bobby was young, heavy-hearted, and is gone, and the man drove him out of the city, wanted dead or alive. Yeah, everything 'cause he couldn't abide. Hey, now he knows that at the start of his drive, he was like as far as being young and wild. I am up for whatever. Bobby was young, heavy-hearted, and is gone, but to take somebody under his wings, it wasn't too
wind is right there and the waves come in, I mean, what the guys are able to do is you just like almost inside the matrix. You unlock the secret of motion.
Hey, so come along to the local jailhouse. 2 walls in a bed inside, and they only reach for the time. And Bobby was young, having heart and is gone. And the man found him outside the city, he was barely alive. Yeah, everything that he couldn't afford. He wanted to smile on a big street again. He wanted to follow his dreams, but his style. Hey, he may go down to the state, make a sound. She may go down and bleed in your mind. Because you hold your breath and your tongue. The shit will still go down. Make sound, make sound, make sound, make sound. 1, 2, 3, go, go, go.
I would say Victor, it's been ripping so hard on his doubles, man. His double forwards and Pozo, that's what he's been always getting me. Like, I make a double, but he does it even better and perfect plenty, it's like a bastard, and so yeah, I think that's just one of the moves that for him it scores very, very high.
I remember Victor when he was a kid. I think he was like 2 here or something. He will try to go in the events, and they wouldn't let him. He was a little bit disappointed he didn't get in, but at the same time he knew better. He knew that one day he'll be in. His vision, he was able to just dominate that competition like nobody has ever.
I prefer wave riding than jumping, but both are part of windsurfing, and I love them. I don't know how many jumps I've done in my life. Probably more than 10,000. I don't know. Do you count that? I think it's enough.
In an empty room, I'm a copy. Maybe crash and burn like gasoline burn. On empty streets and pavements, running from the heat, adrenaline rush. Got the wrong address, transfer LAX into the dance cafe. You had your eyes on me. Too many gates, many trades back at the dance cafe. They had their hands on me. I'm the fucking doll, you play me. You and your boys remember my name. How did we get that close to nothing? These eyes alone are quite enough. Got the wrong address, transfer LAX into the dance cafe. You had your eyes on me. Too many gates, many trades back at the dance cafe. They had their hands on me.
I know Victor's a really nice guy. He's quite reserved. He's a little on the quiet side, but once he gets into the water, it's a different story. He's very aggressive, and He's really, really good to watch. He's very fluid and consistent. He has a great style, great ambassador for the sport.
Transfer LAX into the dance cafe. You had your eyes on me. Too many gates, men and many traits. Back at the dance cafe, they had their hands on me.
I think the freestyle discipline was a must for professional windsurfing and for windsurfing in general. Back in 97, 98, we started coming up with different moves that were kind of wave rider moves, but on flat water, because we were doing all these promotions in really kind of dull, flat places. And so eventually some organizers realized, hey, you know what? The people are way more stoked watching the wave guys, the promo guys who are just there drinking and partying, doing their thing instead of watching the guys racing out in the middle of the lake. So they started King of the Lake contest, which was a freestyle event in Lake Garda at Hotel Pier. And that was the very first freestyle-esque competition. What they realized was there's all this energy and the crowd was just buzzed. And the guys who started the event, they came from snowboarding. So they knew how to like set up a freestyle event and put it right there in the crowd's face. All of a sudden, we started having these phenoms at 14, 15 years old coming in and dominating the discipline. Starting with guys like Dione.
No, I was pretty much the only young guy on tour. I was 17. I won the event, beat Josh Stone, and basically the next year after that, Ricardo Campello showed up. And I knew he was gonna be the next one after me. The rest of the crew came up was Cheo the next year, and then also Kona from Brazil, then Brauzinho, and then boom, boom, they were like all popping out of everywhere.
From older windsurfer, older pros perspective, I couldn't imagine a more beautiful thing to happen to our sport, because that is what we were truly missing. From a greed perspective, it was kind of a bummer because all these super hot guys were coming in and kicking your ass. And literally by the end of my career, I didn't have a prayer against those kids. I had to leave the sport. I mean, the discipline of freestyle.
All that revolution, from Josh Stone to me, and Ricardo, and then Cheo, and then Gollito, boom. There's the result. All we did, all the work, turned out to be the perfect clone of Gollito, you know what I mean? And so that's pretty amazing. So I can't imagine after Gollito what there is to come.
Fuerteventura is my playground. Pijama, pijama. It's okay?
I am traveling with Gollito for so many times. We are really close friends. I mean, he is calling my parents Papa and Mama Paskowski. So, I mean, he is living in my house. He has his own room. So we are good friends and traveling together. And, you know, I watch him a lot. It helps me for my own level. And I watch him a lot. And I can just say this guy is like crazy. I mean, he is inventing every day new moves, and you know, he tries it 2 times and he straight make it perfect, like clean. For me, he is a big step in front of everybody else. Like, it's gonna be tough or hard for anybody to beat him. If he has a good day, for me, he is unbeatable.
I feel really happy to travel in the world with and to know many places. Like, I don't, fuck, it's too difficult, man. I was starting good now.
Traveling around Brazil together with Gollito was great fun, and it's so different. I mean, windsurfing is here kind of new. We were on the river, and there were some kids, and then they saw me sailing. They grabbed the gear, and I couldn't almost get the gear back because they just wanted to try and find out what windsurfing is about. And you can drive around the beach so long with your buggy and just one board, one sail. That's all you need. And you stop wherever you want to stop, you know. We just found a new lagoon where was nobody on the beach, nobody was sailing, nobody was kiting, and it was perfect. It's a cool place to travel to.
Show me that it's worth
Now we knew the freestyle's one thing, then you got wave runs another thing. A few of the sort of freestyle guys were doing freestyle-y moves on the waves, but not proper bottom turning, hitting the lip and doing a freestyle trick. They were sort of going down the line and sliding and skidding and whatnot, which to me looked pretty gay. Whereas Browsinho stepped in, and I think partly because he's a powerful freestyle sailor. He's thinking in his head with the bottom turn, you know, hooking and cutting back. He's applying the power freestyle to these proper wave riding lines and creating this whole new level of wave riding.
You can already see his control, you know, off the lip when he's doing, you know, like aerial takas. He just can see himself, you know, in the picture so easily with his landings, and you know, all those aerial type maneuvers are going to really, you know, are obviously going to help him to just complete the whole hub of, you know, the perfect wave sailor. You know, good on the wave, great jumping, and a great aerialist.
I can still remember sitting on the beach in Gran Canaria, and he come flying in. He's on like a 3.5, you know, he's maxed out, about a 2-3 foot wave, head high, and he comes flying in and just wasn't even in the heat, just freestyling, hits his lip and just does this perfect back loop, and as he comes down, the nose misses the top of the wave and lands fully planing. And I was sitting on the beach, and it sort of took a few seconds for me to register that he just did this, and he landed fully planing, then went backside and then back and did a shucker on the wave and then jibed out of it. I'm sitting there just going, who is this kid, man? What does he think he's doing? He's just putting us out of a job. Yeah, no, he's good.
Fuck, I didn't even. I thought, fuck, I'm not gonna catch the last wave, I'm gonna break my mast.
Yeah.
Should have gone out one wave before. My father was always one of the biggest names in Brazil, together with my uncle, and there was never Like I never knew when I started. I just remember that I always seen windsurfing since I was really young.
I just started windsurfing in the really beginning, like years and years ago, like 86 or no, not 86, 82, 81, 82. And then I just started doing it with my wife, and we did it together, had fun, got married, and then the boys came. When he was about 2 years old, he was always talking about windsurfing and listening about windsurfing and messing around my board.
And when I was 11, I went to Hawaii for the first time with my uncle, and that looked like a movie. I remember the first day I went from the airport straight to Hokipa, and straight I saw Robbie Nash, Paula Cow, Josh Stone, Bjorn, and I couldn't believe. And I was sailing, but I was not really concentrating on my sailing. I was just looking around and kind of dizzy. And like there was these guys that I met there. They wanted to sponsor me, and they said I should stay there for a year. They had a place for me to live and everything. But I was 12 years old, and 11, I would stop school in the 5th grade. I have just learned how to read, so my dad said, you know, at least you have to come home and at least wait a few more years, you know.
I'm a mechanical engineer, so I just made my life studying, and I have a job and I have conventional job, so it was difficult to let a 12 years old guy from Brazil to get into windsurfing. But he had a great talent, so I had to understand this, and after this I just tried to do my best to help him all the time, you know, support him as much as I could. So he's just sailing a lot right now, and I'm very proud about that.
That's what I wanted to do, and you know, whatever I had to do to reach that, I would. It could take me 10 years or whatever. I wanted to be a professional windsurfer, and that's where I am now, and I'm really happy.
In a dream, catch a night flight, one-way ticket to get high. Sunny day, in the right time, baby blue eyes on my mind.
Good afternoon, Maui Tower. Robbie 10 at the east ramp. We're ready to go for that West Hawaii departure. We'll be going, taking off from the east ramp, shooting windsurfing action all along the North Shore.
In a dream, catch a night flight, one-way ticket to get high. Sunny day, in the right time, baby blue eyes on my mind. Baby blue eyes, turn me on, turn me on, turn me on. Baby blue eyes, turn me on, turn me on, turn me on. I can see in the starlight, love flows in your veins. In a bed, in a blue sky, give me love all day long. Baby, blue eyes, turn me on, turn me on, turn me on. Turn me on, turn me on, turn me on. Turn me on, turn me on, turn me on. Turn me on, turn me on, turn me on. Turn me on, turn me on, turn me on. Turn me on, turn me on, turn me on. Turn me on, turn me on, turn me
How much I travel? This year I have been at home for a week. Only a week so far. In between Cape Verde and Maui. And another week in between Maui and Egypt. That was all. And then after here, I have 20 days at home. Then I go back maybe to Indo or something, and then to Europe again, Germany, and then back home, and then Hawaii, and then back home. And then I want to go to Chile or South Africa in the end of the year. Do Portac with Victor.
Goddamn, I missed the last trend. I killed the party again. Goddamn, goddamn. I wanna sleep in my bed. I wanna clean up my head. Don't wanna look this dead. Don't wanna feel this dread. I killed the party again. I ruined it for my friends. Oh, you're so silent, Jens. Or maybe I am, maybe I am. Now at the central station, no time for being patient. I feel like going home, but at the same time I don't. Black can, 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 black can. And I've heard all those stories about the black hats and the way they drive. But if you take a ride with them, you may not come back alive. They might be psycho killers, but tonight I really don't care. So I said turn up the music, take me home or take me anywhere. Black can, black can, black can, black can. You don't know anything, so don't ask me questions. Just turn the music up and keep your mouth shut. Black can.